Hello, everyone. I'm very excited to present on the Veterans Conservation Corps program, which is administered through the Washington State Department of Veteran Affairs. This is a program that provides veteran interns to conservation organizations, and many of our state conservation districts have been partnering with this program. Sorry, trying to advance the slide here. All right. So the Washington State Department of VA is the only state VA department that has an in-house counseling and wellness program. And that is where this internship program lives. So it's a little bit different. You can kind of think of it as a transition program, kind of like Battle Mines to Home Mines is one of their mantras. And for veterans, conservation work is something that is very familiar for them. Working together as a team, building camaraderie, working hard, working outside. These are all things that they can easily feel comfortable with. And so in turn, it also provides healing benefits to the veteran. As many of us know, whenever we work on restoration type projects, or we're even working outside in the garden, we're doing something to improve the land. In turn, we're also improving and healing ourselves. And that is a big benefit that veterans recognize through this program. And also, they can find purpose, that important sense of purpose through this program as well. So just some of the nitty-gritty details here. I just want to point your attention to this sign. This sign is one that the Snohomish Conservation District puts out in front of their projects when their crews are working. Veterans at work, a country worth defending is worth preserving. And I think that just really sums up how special and effective this program is. So the living stipend is paid either by the Conservation District or the VA. It just depends on what the funding situation is for the Conservation District and for the VA as well. One of the big benefits that conservation districts told me about that they really enjoy is that for this Conservation Corps program, the VA does all of the HR work. So they do all of the advertising, all of the recruiting, the hiring, all the administrative paperwork that goes along with that, which is just a huge bonus for conservation districts who are trying to get all kinds of work done. And then for the veterans, they have a direct connection to the VA, and the VA provides specialized training and resources through this program. So I'm just going to highlight some of the conservation districts who work with the Veteran Conservation Corps interns. The Snohomish Conservation District has a rain garden program that they offer to their more urban and suburban residents within the district. And they had a different Conservation Corps program that they were working with a while back. And a lot of the time for that crew was going towards more riparian restoration projects, which were important, but they also had this rain garden program, which had a need and it wasn't being realized. The Conservation District noticed that occasionally veterans would come through in this other Corps program, and they were really drawn to this rain garden work. And so they started thinking, and they were thinking, well, how can we get an all-veteran crew to work on this program? And so they started kind of thinking about that, and they eventually got in touch with the VA and learned about the Veteran Conservation Corps program and decided to try it out. At the time, it was the VA only did single placement of interns. Well, they needed a crew to get all of this work done. So they worked together and figured out a way to try out a crew system, and it was really successful. Built some really great crews. And so now I think they're in their 4th year. And as I understand it, this last season, they had a record-breaking season for installing rain gardens. The Kittitas County Conservation District, this is their first season using veteran interns to complete some field projects, and a little bit different from Snohomish Conservation District, where they're not just working on one program, but they are working on a wide variety of things. Here, they're in the blue shirts here, and they're working with the local fire department on some fire-adapted work to clear out brush around homes to make them more resilient to wildfires. And so they've gotten all kinds of exposure to all kinds of different projects, working with all kinds of different partners, seeing how conservation really works. Both of these interns have expressed an interest in pursuing a career in conservation. So they are really realizing that sense of purpose benefit that the program provides. The Spokane Conservation District, they have their own conservation-based transition program for veterans. It's called Vets on the Farm. They own a farm, and veterans come and they learn how to grow things and how to sell products. They learn how to be a farmer or to work in some other aspect of agriculture. A really successful program. Well, they've been in place for 5 years now. And from the very beginning, they have used the Veteran Conservation Corps program. They've hired 7 interns over the last 5 years. 3 of those interns have been managers. 2 have been farm managers, and 1 was the greenhouse manager. So the Mason Conservation District, they're also been working with veterans for a long time. They started with a single placement. This is Alan, their first intern. He is now a full-fledged, full-time employee at the district. He works on the restoration crew. So that's a really, really big success story there. And they've been looking to Snohomish Conservation District on the crew model. So moving from that single placement to more of a crew, developing that long-standing program there for a work crew. One of the things that the Conservation District told me was that they were really impressed by the training that the VA provides not only to the veterans, but to the Conservation District itself. Every organization or district that goes through this program is required to receive veteran cultural competency training. And this is training that just provides some information on the culture of being a veteran, what some veterans experience, what it's like to transition back to civilian life and live in civilian life after serving. And that made a big impression on them. And they not only hire veterans through this program, but they reach out to their veteran community on their own and see if there are projects they can assist with and support veterans. And the VA has told me that this is the main objective of this program, that they won't need programs like this in the future, that we will all reach out to our veteran communities to support them and to hire them to do work with us. So just some expectations, a really important part of this program, just as similar to other programs. So just first and foremost, it's a wellness program, and that's really different for conservation districts. They have work that needs to get done. They have deadlines that need to be met. They're spinning multiple plates all at once, and it can be hard to remember this part of it. But you may have hired a veteran who comes on board, and then all of a sudden they're experiencing some difficulties, and they're just not able to put in the work that is needed. Well, as part of this program, they need to take a step back. They're directly connected to services that can help them. Once they are able to be supported and find some assistance, they can come back to the work crew and begin work again. Often this happens and they come back a really great worker, really great part of the team. They're feeling better, more confident about themselves. And sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it's just not the right fit, and that's okay. And that's something that a lot of the conservation districts have had to move through with these crews. So it's not always easy, but as I've shared with you here today, that when it works out, it's good stuff, and it's that really, really good stuff. So, oh, sorry, I'm just trying to wrap up the presentation here. So just a big thank you to the VA, Kim Pham, and Jason Alves, and all of the conservation districts that I spoke with in pulling this presentation together. I, of course, have the privilege of sharing all this information with you about this great program, but they're the ones putting it all together and making it work. So thank you.
Thanks, Alyssa. I can hear the applause going on in the background and some of our activities that we would normally do when we're in person. The cheers for people that have done such a great job in their presentations. Thanks for hanging in there, doing that 10-minute presentation, and we'll be monitoring the questions dashboard. Folks, reminder, the 74 of us that are participating, go ahead and send your questions to Alyssa, Jonna, Russell. It's okay, even though they finished, we'll feel back and make sure that they get your questions and get your questions answered. And we appreciate that, Alyssa. Thanks so much, and welcome to the state idea sharing session. You're first timer, right?
Yes, I am. Thank you. Yeah, I echo everyone else. I wish I was there in person. Doing a presentation over webinar is still different for me.
We would make you sing your college fight song or something really silly is what we would do if we were in person again. But only if you want to, you can do that. So just teasing.
I don't think I even known it. Well, I will just say I'm also a veteran. And if we had time, I would sing Semper Paratus, but I don't think we do. So I'll spare you all.
Hang on to that thought. We may have time within the 2-hour block. So we do have one question. How is the State Conservation Agency involved with the growing partnership between the Department of Veterans Affairs and conservation districts? How's the state?
I'm so glad you asked this question. Yeah, because it's something I wanted to put into the presentation, but didn't feel like I had time. Yeah, so we are building a partnership with the state Department of Veteran Affairs. We touch base regularly. I'm regularly touching base with the coordinator for this program, Kim Pham. Also regularly scheduled meetings with the VA overall. They have a lot of great ideas. You know, their main objective is to connect veterans to services, but they have all of these really creative ideas of ways to do that through conservation. So they're looking a lot at connecting with farmers who are veterans for land conservation, conservation easement type programs is one of their ideas. So yeah, just a lot of different creative ideas that are just really starting to build here.
Excellent. Thanks so much. Thanks for that question. We got a note here too, thanking you for your service and also a wonderful program. So we'll pass that along to everyone also.